The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. Will the House and gallery please rise for the invocation which will be offered by the chaplain.
Almighty Father, may peace and stability reign in our souls, a microcosm of the kingdom you bring to earth. May we find you always present in our lives, and the delight that we have in that discovery lead us to more fully love you with all our being. Watch over all in this house, that they may be safeguarded from all temptations of the evil one, and enjoy the life of the blessed. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Angie Button of Dallas County to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine this. You know why I speak charming English? Because I wasn't that lucky to be born in this great country. And today, I have the honor to serve so many Texans. This can only happen to the United States of America and to Texas. That is why I'm going to say the pledges with my deepest appreciation and the love for this country. So please join me. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, the greatest state in the nation. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
The chair will now hear excuses for absent members. Please excuse Mr. Holland because of important business in the district of the motion of Mr. Meyer. Please excuse Ms. Swanson because of important business in the district of the motion of Mr. Hefner. Please excuse Mr. Smithy because of important business because of an illness of the motion of Mr. Darby. Please excuse Ms. Gerben Hawkins because of important business in the district on the motion of Ms. Bowers. Please excuse Mr. Longoria because of important business in the district on the motion of Mr. Emanuel. Is there objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. Mr. Doorkeeper.
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
Admit Mr. Kraus.
Mr. Speaker, I'm directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measures. SB 18, Creighton, relating the tenure and employment status of public institutions of higher education in this state. SB 55, Zaffarini, relating to a study and report by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board regarding best practices for assisting students.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Pursuit, for what purpose?
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Please state your inquiry.
Is it lawful for the Senate to keep sending Matt Krause over here?
The chair is not advised.
Okay.
The chair announces the signing of the following in the presence of the House.
HCR 85.
Mr. Metcalf moves to dispense the reading of referral bills until the end of today's business. Is there objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Mr. Moody for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House grant permission for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence to meet while the House is in session today at 10:30 a.m. in room 3W15 to consider pending, referred, and committee business.
Members, you heard the motion. Objection, chair hears none, so ordered. The following announcement, the clerk will read the announcement.
The Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence will meet today at 10:30 a.m. in room 3W15 in a formal meeting to consider pending, referred, and committee business.
Ready? Memorial. All right. That sounds familiar. Oh. It sounds familiar. Yeah. All right. Members, please take your seats. We have a memorial resolution. Members, please take your seats. The chair recognizes Mr. Craddock for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, members, I'd like to call up HCR number 106.
Members heard the motion. Objection, chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution in full.
HCR 106 by Craddock, whereas countless lives were touched by the kindness and generosity of H. Philip Whitworth of Austin, who passed away on November 10, 2022, at the age of 75, and whereas the son of Harry Philip Whitworth and Edna White Whitworth, Flip Whitworth was born in Austin on February 25, 1947, and grew up with a brother Gary and two sisters Julie and Ann. He graduated from Stephen F. Austin High School, where he excelled in both academics and athletics. As a student at the University of Texas at Austin, he joined the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity and formed many lifelong friendships. He completed both his bachelor's and law degrees with honors. And whereas Mr. Whitworth joined the Scott Douglas and McConaughey firm just a year after its founding, he became an expert in oil, gas, and energy law and served in a number of leadership positions, including as chair of the State Bar of Texas Oil, Gas, and Mineral Law Section and the Oil and Natural Gas Exploration and Production Committee of the American Bar Association Section of Natural Resources, Energy, and Environmental Law. Over the years, he was frequently called upon as a guest lecturer at his alma mater. He received the prestigious Ernest E. Smith Lifetime Achievement Award from the Texas Journal of Oil, Gas, and Energy Law in 2016. For 25 years, he served his firm as hiring partner with his warmth, charm, and keen eye for talent. He was ideally suited to this role. He was a mentor to many, and his smile and infectious laughter brightened days at the office for all. And whereas devoted to his family, Mr. Whitworth shared a fulfilling marriage with his wife, Susie, and he took great pride in his children, Scott and Ashley, and grandchildren, Brett and Wesley. He was a loyal, thoughtful friend and a man of strong faith. In his free time, he enjoyed playing golf, traveling, cheering for his Longhorns, and giving back to his community. And whereas while his loss is difficult to bear, Flip Whitworth has left behind numerous friends and loved ones whose lives are far richer for having known him, and he will hold a treasured place in their hearts. Now therefore be it resolved that the 88th Legislature of the State of Texas hereby pay tribute to the memory of H. Philip Flip Whitworth and extend sincere condolences to the members of his family, to his wife Susie Page Whitworth, to his children Gary Scott Whitworth and his wife Leslie and Ann Ashley Whitworth Stitch and her husband Mark, to his stepson James Aaron Page, to his grandchildren Rhett and Wesley, to his sisters Julie Moore and Ann Messer, and her husband Bill, and to his other relatives and many friends. And be it further resolved that an official copy of this resolution be prepared for his family, and that when the Texas House of Representatives and Senate adjourn this day, they do so in memory of Flip Whitworth.
The chair recognizes Mr. Craddock to explain the resolution.
Mr. Speaker, members, I move adoption.
Members, the question occurs on adoption of the resolution. All in favor, please rise. The resolution is unanimously adopted. Mr. Craddock moves that all members' names of the resolution and objection. Chair hears none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Mr. Craddock for a recognition.
Mr. Speaker, members, the family of Flip Wentworth are in the gallery today, and I'd like for them to stand and for you to recognize them. Thank you all for coming, and we appreciate it. Yeah.
Please excuse Mr. Vogt as an important business of the district on the motion of Mr. Bernal. Is there objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. The chair recognizes Dr. Rogers for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up H.R. 1144.
Members, you heard the motion. Is there objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 1184 by Rogers, commemorating Aggie muster on April 21st, 2023.
The chair recognizes Dr. Rogers to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members, and especially all you fighting Texas Aggies. On April 21st, 1836, Texas won her independence from Mexico by defeating Santa Anna at the Battle of San Jacinto. This 18-minute battle proved to be one of the most decisive in history and ultimately led to the addition of 1/3 of the landmass of the United States of America. Aggie muster traces its origins to San Jacinto Day, and today, students and alumni of Texas A&M University take part in one of the university's most cherished traditions. The first muster took place in 1883 when a group of former Texas A&M students gathered to reminisce about their days in college. During the first half of the 20th century, the tradition of muster evolved to include a memoriam for those who were absent. During both World War I and World War II, Aggies met and forged bonds at Army posts across the United States and in the trenches in Europe. During the most famous Aggie muster that took place on the small island of Corregidor in the Philippines in 1942, Major General George Moore led a group of recently commissioned Aggies in holding a yell practice, singing the war hymn and honoring the memory of Aggies who died. The first campus muster was organized in 1924, and it has since grown into an all-day affair that includes a ceremonial barbecue with members of the 50-year reunion class and a special memorial service at Reed Arena. At every muster, a speaker addresses the crowd present before the roll call for the absent, during which the names of those from that area who have died in the past year are read. As each name is called, a family member or friend responds with "here," to express that the deceased individual is present in spirit, and a candle is subsequently lit in his or her memory. This evening, Aggie musters will be held all over the state, nation, and world, wherever two or more Aggies can gather together. Muster is a time of both solemnity and celebration for members of the worldwide Aggie community who unite with one another in solidarity and remembrance of those they have lost. Participants in this year's muster are helping to perpetuate a tradition that is inextricably tied to the history and culture of their alma mater. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Gig 'em, and I move passage.
I want to get a picture of all our rings.
Okay, yeah.
Will you take a picture?
Okay.
Is there objection to the adoption of the resolution? Anyone? There is no objection. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Ashby moves that all members' names of the resolution. The objection, chair hears none, so ordered. Mr. Tinderholt, please excuse Mr. Tinderholt as an important business in the district. The motion of Mr. Durazio is there objection, chair hears none, so ordered. The chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
H.R. 548 by Kane, commemorating the 187th anniversary of the Battle of San Jacinto.
The chair recognizes Mr. Kane, who represents the San Jacinto battleground, to wish you a very happy San Jacinto Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we gather to celebrate San Jacinto Day, a day that holds immense historical and cultural significance for the Lone Star State. April 21st, 2023 marks the 187th anniversary of the Battle of San Jacinto, which resulted in the independence of Texas from Mexico. And after declaring independence in Washington on the Brazos on March 2nd, and following the fall of the Alamo 4 days later, the Texan Army met the Mexican forces on a ranch near the Lynch's Ferry with a famous battle cry, "Remember the Alamo, remember Goliad." General Sam Houston led the Texan Army to a surprise attack on the Mexican forces led by General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. While the battle only lasted 18 minutes, it was a decisive victory that paved the way for the creation of the Republic of Texas. In fact, the 14th Texas Legislature on March 2nd, 1874, passed House Joint Resolution 19, now known as Joint Resolution 7, that made March 2nd and April 21st official state holidays. Located in House District 128, the site of the battle is now known as San Jacinto Battleground State Historic Site. To commemorate the battle, the tallest monument column in the world, the San Jacinto Monument, was constructed. San Jacinto Day is about more than commemorating a historic battle. It's a day to celebrate the spirit of the people of the Republic of Texas. It's about our hard-earned reputation of being a people known for courage, resilience, and grit. It's a day to honor the sacrifices of those who fought and died for Texas independence from a tyrannical government and a military despotism. It's a day to reflect on the values that make Texas great, values such as liberty, independence, and self-determination. As we celebrate San Jacinto Day, we must also remember the lessons the historical battle offers us. We must remember that we are all Texans, and as Texans, we have a solemn duty to join forces to build a better future for the next generation of Texans. Let us celebrate San Jacinto Day with honor and pride. Let us remember the sacrifice of those who fought oppression for liberty. With that, Mr. Speaker, move adoption.
The chair recognizes Dr. Oliverson for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I just want to recognize some distinguished guests in the gallery. My district director, Brittany Keller, her mom and dad, Debbie and Stephen Keller from McCook, Texas, are here. And I just want to say welcome to your capital. Thank you all for being here.
Is Mr. Burrows on the floor of the House? Members, the calendar rules for HB 1000 and HB 4559 were previously distributed to you as required under the rules, and convenience papers were placed on your desk this morning. We will consider each rule separately in debate, and the debate is subject to a 3-minute pro-con rule. The chair lays out the calendar rule for HB 1000. The clerk will read the bill. Read the rule.
Rule for floor consideration, HB 1000.
The chair recognizes Mr. Burrows to explain the rule.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the calendar rule for HB 1000, the redistricting bill for the House districts that requires amendments to be e-filed with the Chief Clerk by 6 p.m. Monday. The rule also contains the standard language relating to amendments to redistricting bills that requires amendments prepared by the Legislative Council and be in a certain format. If there's no questions, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the calendar rule for HB 1000. Is there objection? The chair hears none. The calendar rule is adopted. The chair lays out the calendar rule for HB 4559. The clerk will read the rule.
Rule for floor consideration, HB 4559.
The chair recognizes Mr. Burrows to explain the rule.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the calendar rule for HB 4559, the population bracket update bill that requires amendments to be e-filed with the Chief Clerk by 6 p.m. Monday. The rule also requires amendments to be drafted by the Legislative Council. If there's no questions, I move adoption.
The question occurs on adoption of the calendar rule for HB 4559. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and the rule is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Leach for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend Rule 12, Section 1A to not print the bill text in the committee reports for House Bill 4504, House Bill 4595, and House Bill 4611. Members, these bills have been prepared by the Texas Legislative Council pursuant to its legislative mandate to continually revise the statutory law of the state of Texas. Each bill is a non-substantive revision of Texas law, and the substance of the law has not been altered. The sole purpose of these revisions is to compile the relevant law, to arrange it in a logical fashion, and to rewrite it without altering its meaning or legal effect. By ordering these bills not printed, this means that you will not have the text of the bill in front of you when you vote. This indicates the House's judgment that our Legislative Council completed this revision in compliance with the mandate that we have given them. Also, that the bill's changes to the law are in fact non-substantive, and that there's no need to consult text that is not changing the law during floor consideration of these bills. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members have heard the motion's objection. Chair hears none. Motion's adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I further move that my remarks on this motion be reduced to writing and placed in the journal.
Members have heard the motion. Objecting. Chair hears none. Motion's adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Darby for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the memorandum by the Committee on Redistricting containing links to the legislative record created and considered during the 87th legislature, including public comments and testimony, be printed as an addendum to the House Journal for today to provide members and the public with access to that record, and that the Committee on Redistricting be directed to post the memorandum on the committee's website. Move adoption.
Members have heard the motion. Objection. Chair hears none. So ordered. Ms. Collier, for what purpose? Mr. Pursuit, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, I move to reduce Representative Kane's remarks on H.R. 548 to writing and place them in the journal.
Members heard the motion. Objection. Chair hears none. So ordered.
The chair recognizes Mr. Buckley for a motion.
Move to suspend the 5-day posting rule to permit the Committee on Public Education in a public hearing on Tuesday, April 25th at 8 a.m. in room E2036 to consider HB 3349 by Landgraf relating to assignment by the University Interscholastic League of Schools to districts for purposes of competition, and SB 798 by Middleton relating to the certification requirement for a public school counselor.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Meyer for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend the 5-day posting rule to permit the Committee on Ways and Means in a public hearing on Monday, April 24th at 10 a.m. in room JHR 140 to consider HB 4950 by Gervin Hawkins relating to an exemption from an ad valorem taxation of the amount of the appraised value of real property that arises from the installation in the property of certain energy efficiency related improvements, HJR 187 by Gervin Hawkins, proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize the legislature to provide for an exemption from ad valorem taxation of the amount of the market value of real property that arises from the installation in the property of certain energy efficiency related improvements, HB 3487 by Theory, relating to certain expenditures by public institutions of higher education and university systems that are eligible for certain tax credits, and Correction member HB 3487 by Turner. And then finally, HB 3599 by Theory, relating to a tax exemption from certain motor fuel taxes for registration fees for motor vehicles owned by certain nonprofit food banks.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered.
Members, we are about to go on the calendar. If you have a bill, please be ready. The chair lays out on third reading HB 12. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 12 by Rose, relating to the duration of services provided under Medicaid to women following a pregnancy.
The chair recognizes Ms. Rose to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, it's been a long time coming. We passed this bill last legislative session and had some hiccups, and we made the changes, and now we're ready to send it to the Senate so that it could get to the governor's desk. So I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of the HB 12. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Rose voting aye. Show the Speaker voting aye. Mr. Harris voting aye. Show Mr. Cabriglio voting aye. Mr. Busey voting aye. Mr. Frazier voting aye. Ms. Harrison voting aye. Mr. Patterson voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 132 ayes and 8 nays. HB 12 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 467. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 467 by Craddock, relating to limitation periods for certain criminal offenses based on assaultive conduct.
The chair recognizes Mr. Craddock to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this is the bill we passed yesterday by Ms. Johnson and I, and this is related to the limitation of period for certain criminal offenses based on an assault. Move final passage.
The question occurs on final passage of the HB 467. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Craddock voting aye. Mr. Craddock voting aye. Have all members voted? Ms. Davis voting aye. All members voted. There being 139 ayes, 0 nays, HB 467 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2620. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2620 by Guerin, relating to the confinement in a county jail of a person pending a transfer to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and to compensation to a county for certain costs of confinement.
The chair recognizes Mr. Guerin to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House Bill 2620 requires the state to reimburse the county if they're late picking up the prisoners. I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 2620. The record vote, the clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Guerin voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 139 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2620 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2877. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2877 by King of Uvalde, relating to crime victims' compensation.
The chair recognizes Mr. King of Uvalde to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, House Bill 2877 makes some changes to the Victims' Compensation Fund to accommodate some situations that have arisen in the last few years and showed some deficiencies in that program. I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 2877. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. King of Uvalde voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2877 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 837. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 837 by Raymond, relating to the use of appropriated money by the Texas Military Department or Texas Military Forces for recruiting and retention purposes.
The chair recognizes Mr. Raymond to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is for the use of appropriated money by the Texas State Guard for recruiting and retention purposes. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 837. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Raymond voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 139 ayes and 1 nay. HB 837 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1227. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1227 by Metcalf, relating to changing the eligibility for community supervision of a person convicted of possession or promotion of child pornography.
The chair recognizes Mr. Metcalf to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House Bill 1227 adds the offense of promotion or possession of child pornography to the list of offenses that restricts judge order community supervision and increases the amount of time. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 1227. That's a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Metcalf voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 140 ayes and 0 nays, HB 1227 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 251. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 251 by Murr, relating to the payment of certain costs associated with certain assignments of a statutory probate court judge.
The chair recognizes Mr. Murr to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this bill relates to reimbursement for expenses of statutory probate courts in rural counties. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 251. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Murr voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 136 ayes and 134 ayes and 5 nays. HB 251 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1285. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1285 by Shine, relating to the duties of the taxpayer liaison officer of an appraisal district.
The chair recognizes Mr. Shine to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, 1285 expands the duties of taxpayer liaison officer and requires additional training. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 1285. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Shine voting aye. Show Ms. Bowers voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 125 ayes and 14 nays, HB 1285 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 965. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 965 by Allen, relating to post-release housing for inmates released on parole or to mandatory supervision.
The chair recognizes Ms. Bowers to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. House Bill 965 establishes the Reentry Housing Task Force to set standards for reentry. This bill also requires TDCJ to seek grants to expand the use of territory post-release housing vouchers to reduce wait times and to evaluate outcomes of those placed in housing and meets the standards developed by the task force. Moves passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 965. There's a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Bowers voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 96 ayes and 45 nays, HB 965 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2196. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2196 by Smithy related to trusts.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm laying this bill out for Representative Smithy. He told me this is a good bill and that you all should vote for it. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 2196. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2196 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2304. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2304 by Kimple relating to the authority of the Nixon Hospital District of Gonzales and Wilson Counties, Texas to borrow money.
The chair recognizes Mr. Kimple to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Nixon Hospital District, Mr. Smithy said this was a good bill as well, that you should all vote for it. Move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 2304. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. So Mr. Leach voting aye. Mr. Kimple voting aye. If Mr. Smithy were here, he would be voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 116 ayes and 23 nays. HB 2304 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1900. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1900 by Smithy relating to notice of non-renewal of a property and casualty insurance policy.
Okay, do we need to say Mr. Smithy said this is a good bill?
The
Seriously.
chair recognizes Ms. Hull to explain the bill.
Members, this is Representative Smithy's bill that is a pro-consumer. Yes, it is a good bill that you should all vote for, yes. Recommendation by TDI requiring policyholders to be provided a 60-day notice of non-renewal rather than 30 days. Move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 1900. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Hull voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 139 ayes and 2 nays, HB 1900 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 836. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 836 by Raymond relating to retired members of the Texas State Guard.
The chair recognizes Mr. Raymond to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, House Bill 836 changes the wording of our retired State Guard members from being part of the honorary reserve to being retired. Passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 836. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Raymond voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 836 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 4797. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 4797 by Romero related to training on the treatment of toll project roadways during inclement weather.
The chair recognizes Mr. Romero to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 4797 makes our roads safer by ensuring that road treatment training during inclement weather is consistent. I have an amendment.
The following amendment, the clerk will read the amendment.
Amendment by Romero.
The chair recognizes Mr. Romero to explain the amendment.
A simple amendment. It was a last-minute drafting error from subsection C to subsection E. Move adoption.
Mr. Romero sends an amendment. The amendment is acceptably offered. Objection to the adoption amendment. Chair hears none. The amendment is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Romero to close on the bill.
Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 4797. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Romero voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 4797 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1442. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1442 by A. Johnson of Harris relating to the prosecution of certain criminal conduct involving a reckless driving exhibition and to the forfeiture of contraband as a result of reckless driving exhibition.
The chair recognizes Ms. Johnson of Harris to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this is the bill that we had an amendment from Frederick Frazier yesterday. It deals with the enforcement mechanism around street racing and move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 1442. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. So Ms. Johnson of Harris voting aye. Mr. Frazier voting aye. Mr. Paul voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 127 ayes and 13 nays, HB 1442 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1631. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1631 by Paul relating to hours of service by an election watcher.
The chair recognizes Mr. Paul to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this is the bill that lets poll watchers take a break. Move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 1631. There's a record vote. The clerk ring the bell. Show Mr. Paul voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 139 ayes and 0 nays, HB 1631 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2636. The clerk read the bill.
HB 2636 by Murr, relating to liability of a recreational vehicle park or campground entity for injuries arising from certain activities.
The chair recognizes Mr. Murr to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this bill limits liability for RV parks and campgrounds for participants while maintaining appropriate reasonable exceptions. Move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 2636. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Murr voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2636 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2691. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2691 by Button, relating to the authority of the Comptroller of Public Accounts to issue certain payments to persons who are indebted or delinquent in taxes owed to the state and to state agency reporting requirements regarding such persons.
The chair recognizes Ms. Button to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, HB 2691 improves efficiency in the state's customer service by requiring state agencies to notify those who owe their money and by authorizing the comptroller to release payment. Move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 2691. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Ashby voting aye, Ms. Button voting aye. Have all members voted? 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2691 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1772. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1772 by Ashby, relating to the documentation required for the purchase of certain timber products to create a criminal offense.
The chair recognizes Mr. Ashby to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Remember, this bill helps protect private landowners from timber theft. I move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 1772. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Ashby voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 139 ayes and 0 nays. HB 1772 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1743. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1743 by Leach, relating to allowing certain inmates to apply for supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits to be provided at the time of discharge or release.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this allows our Texas inmates who are re-entering their communities to apply for SNAP benefits before their release. With that, I move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 1743. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Leach voting aye, Mr. Jones of Dallas voting aye, Mr. Harris voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 127 ayes and 13 nays. HB 1743 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1647. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1647 by Harris of Anderson, relating to health benefit plan coverage of clinical administered drugs.
The chair recognizes Mr. Harris to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is a white bagging bill. Move passage.
Question occurs on final pass of HB 1647. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Harris of Anderson voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 139 ayes and 1 nay, HB 1647 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1841. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1841 by Wally, relating to landlord and tenant dispute information reported by justice courts to the Texas Judicial Council and made accessible to the public.
The chair recognizes Mr. Herrera to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is a bill that would allow landlord-tenant dispute information to be submitted to the Texas Judicial Council. I move for passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 1841. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Have all members voted? Mr. Wilson voting nay. Have all members voted? There have been 76 ayes and 65 nays. HB 1841 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2024. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2024 by Leach, relating to statutes of limitation and repose for certain claims arising out of residential construction.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this lowers the residential construction statute of repose from 10 years to 6 years. With that, I move passage.
The question occurs on final pass of HB 2024. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. So, Mr. Leach voting aye. Have all members voted? There There have been 100 ayes and 40 nays. HB 2024 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 4757. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 4757 by Orr, relating to the preservation of Fairfield Lake State Park.
The chair recognizes Ms. Orr to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This is the bill we passed yesterday to protect and preserve Fairfield Lake State Park. I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 4757. This is a record vote. The clerk will reading the bill. Show Ms. Orr voting aye. Show Ms. Stymish voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 131 ayes and 8 nays. HB 4757 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 3331. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 3331 by Timish, relating to a convicted felon serving as an executor of a decedent's estate in certain circumstances.
The chair recognizes Ms. Timish to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this bill amends the estate code to qualify convicted felons to serve as an executor to a decedent's estate. Mr. Speaker, I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 3331. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Timish voting aye. Ms. Lopez voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 134 ayes and 7 nays. HB 3331 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 1888. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 1888 by Lopez and Cameron, relating to the route designation for the issuance of a permit for the movement of oversized and overweight vehicles in certain counties.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker
The chair
and
recognizes
members.
Ms. Lopez and Cameron to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This is my Cameron County Overweight Corridor permit we heard yesterday. I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 1888. There's a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Lopez of Cameron voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 141 ayes and 0 nays. HB 1888 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading HB 2674. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2674 by Kitzman, relating to the application submitted to the Comptroller for designation as a state depository.
The chair recognizes Mr. Kitzman to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, House Bill 2674 just helps the controller better manage the monies on behalf of the people of the state of Texas.
Move passage.
Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of HB 2674. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Kitzman voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 140 ayes and 0 nays. HB 2674 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading SB 159. The clerk will read the bill.
SB 159 by Perry, relating to education requirements for an applicant to take the uniform CPA examination.
The chair recognizes Ms. Button to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, SB 159 addresses shortage of CPAs by allowing CPA candidates to begin the exam sooner. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of SB 159. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Button voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 140 ayes and 0 nays. SB 159 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading SB 497. The clerk will read the bill.
SB 497 by Zaffarini, relating to the processing and sale of kratom and kratom products, providing civil penalties, creating a criminal offense.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lozano to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This is the Kratom Consumer Protection Act. Move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of SB 497. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Lozano voting aye. Ms. Orr voting aye. Show Ms. Orr voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 125 ayes and 14 nays. SB 497 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading SB 500. The clerk will read the bill.
SB 500 by West, relating to the value of a residential dwelling offered or awarded as a prize at a charitable raffle.
The chair recognizes Ms. Thompson of Herrick's to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, members, this is the St. Jude Hospital charitable raffle. I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of SB 500. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Thompson of Harris voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 109 ayes and 30 nays. SB 500 is finally passed. The chair lays out HB 2473 as a matter of postponed business on second reading. The clerk will read the bill.
HB 2473 by Busey, relating to improvements to the Texas Information and Referral Network.
The chair recognizes Mr. Busey to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This bill would institute a series of technological upgrades to the Texas Information and Referral Network, referred to as 211. This is much needed updates. I believe we have an amendment.
The following, Ms. Clerk, for what purpose? The following amendment, the clerk read the amendment.
Amendment by Hull.
The chair recognizes Ms. Hull to explain the amendment.
Members, this amendment helps to put some consent language in there and some data privacy concerns. It helps to address some of that, and I believe it's acceptable to the author.
Ms. Hull sends up an amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. The objection to the adoption amendment. Chair hears none. The amendment is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Busey to close on the bill. Ms. Click, for what purpose?
If the author would answer some questions.
Absolutely.
Would the gentleman yield for questions? Gentleman yields for questions.
Mr. Busey, this particular bill, is it intended to benefit only one vendor?
No, this is to help upgrade the 211 system and the agency for everybody.
And would it direct HHSC to a particular vendor?
Absolutely not.
Can any vendor in the 211 space participate in the program?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'd like the remarks between Mr. Busey and myself reduced to writing and placed in the journal.
Members heard the motion. Objecting. Chair hears none. So ordered.
Thank
Chair
you.
recognizes Mr. Busey to close on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move passage.
The question occurs passage of third reading of engrossment of HB 2473. A record vote has been requested by Ms. Isaac. The clerk will ring the bell. Mr. Busey voting aye. Ms. Lujan voting aye. Mr. Patterson voting aye. Have all members voted? There have been 115 ayes and 26 nays. HB 2473 is passed in engrossment. The chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the resolution.
HR 1008 by Timish, recognizing the AVID program at Lamar Middle School and Louisville ISD.
The chair recognizes Ms. Timish.
Today, we are excited to recognize some Lamar Middle School's AVID students in the gallery. If you would please stand. They just arrived from Louisville ISD. These bright 8th graders are accompanied by their amazing teachers and chaperones. They took the trip to Austin all the way from HD 65 to learn more about the Texas State Capitol, along with taking a college tour at the University of Texas at Austin. The AVID program at Lamar Middle School has been preparing our students in Denton County for college readiness by teaching them critical thinking, study skills, and problem solving. These services strategies, these young Texans have already completed a collective 200 hours of community service benefiting their neighbors and businesses surrounding them. These life skills being taught are essential to the growth that our students are in need of. Lamar Middle School student, AVID students, welcome to the Texas State House.
The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral. The clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 5395 by Lalani, relating to the creation of the Fort Bend County Water Control and Improvement District Number 11, granting limited power of eminent domain, providing authority to issue bonds, providing authority to impose assessment fees and taxes, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 5396 by Metcalf, relating to the powers and duties of the Stanley Lake Municipal Utility District, providing authority to issue bonds, providing authority to impose fees and taxes, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 5397 by Wilson, relating to the name of the 3B&J Municipal Utility District, the powers, duties, operation, administration, and authorizing an ad valorem tax, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. SB 129 by Springer, relating to the prosecution and punishment for possession or promotion of child pornography, increasing criminal penalties, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. SB 161 by Perry, relating to the procedure for certain complaints against healthcare practitioners, referred to the Committee on Public Health. SB 267 by King, relating to law enforcement agency accreditation, including a grant program to assist agencies in becoming accredited, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety. SB 785 by Birdwell, relating to the ownership of the geothermal energy and associated resources below the surface of land, referred to the Committee on Energy Resources. SB 806 by Paxton, relating to the duties of peace officers regarding interactions with victims of sexual assault, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety. SB 888 by Perry, relating to fire escape exemptions for certain courthouses, referred to the Committee on County Affairs. SB 929 by Parker, relating to the notice and compensation of a municipality must provide before revoking the right to use property for a use that was allowed before the adoption of or change to a zoning regulation or boundary, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. SB 1093 by Schwertner, relating to facilities included in the electricity supply chain, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. SB 1097 by Parker, relating to liability of certain municipal hospital authorities under a contract for the sale of a hospital, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. SB 1124 by King, relating to qualifications of a sheriff or a candidate for sheriff, referred to the Committee on County Affairs. SB 1210 by Blanco, relating to the authority of the Railroad Commission of Texas to designate certain persons as the operator of an orphaned oil or gas well, referred to the Committee on Energy Resources. SB 1215 by Paxton, related to the payment of certain ad valorem tax refund, deferred to the Committee on Ways and Means. SB 1226 by Hughes, relating to the term of office for a director of the Northeast Texas Municipal Water District, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. SB 1244 by Huffman, relating to the allocation of certain revenue to the Sexual Assault Program Fund, referred to the Committee on Appropriations. SB 1286 by Schwertner, relating to the prompt payment deadlines for health benefit plan claims affected by a catastrophic event, referred to the Committee on Insurance. SB 1375 by Parker, relating to the sampling or tasting of distilled spirits by the manufacturer to a consumer at a temporary event, referred to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. SB 1397 by Schwertner, relating to the continuation of functions of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, referred to the Committee on Environmental Regulation. SB 1401 by Zafrini, relating to the rights of victims of sexual assault and to certain procedures and reimbursements occurring with respect to a sexual assault or other sex offense, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety. SB 1649 by Parker, relating to trust, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. SB 1650 by Parker, relating to durable powers of attorney and the construction of certain powers conferred in those durable powers of attorney, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. SB 1661 by Hughes, relating to a ballot scan system used in Central County Station, referred to the Committee on Elections. SB 1698 by Colcourse, relating to a peace officers commissioned by the Health and Human Services Commission Office of the Inspector General, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety. SB 1758 by Schwertner, relating to the use of certain land by the University of Texas System, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. SB 1768 by Creighton, relating to the correction or removal of certain obsolete provisions of the Property Code, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. SB 1807 by Springer, related to the unlawful altering of election procedures providing civil penalty, referred to the Committee on Elections. SB 1809 by Sparks, relating to the authority of certain counties to impose a hotel occupancy tax and the applicability and rates of that tax in certain counties, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. SB 1839 by Hinojosa, relating to the unlawful sale or purchase of shark fins or shark fin products, creating a criminal offense, referred to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. SB 1991 by Betancourt, related to the authorization of disbursements by the Board of Directors of the North Harris County Regional Water Authority, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. SB 2399 by Schwertner, related to the authority of the Public Utility Commission of Texas to regulate voice over Internet protocol services, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. The following resolutions are being referred to the Committee on Resolutions calendars. HCR 109 by Hefner, HR 1195 by Timish, HR 1196 by Goldman, HR 1197 by Goldman, HR 1198 by Hinojosa, HR 1199 by Hinojosa, HR 1200 by Guerra, HR 1201 by Guerra, HR 1202 by Guerra, HR 1203 by Guerra, HR 1204 by Guerra, HR 1205 by Busey.
Members, a quick announcement. The work schedule for next week. The House will convene at 1 p.m. on Monday, 10 a.m. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Wednesday, 10 a.m. Thursday, 9 a.m. Friday. We have one resolution, and then we will begin the Speaker's Reunion Day program. Members, we have a memorial resolution. Please take your seats. Members, please take your seats. The chair recognizes Ms. Davis for a motion.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, members, I'd like to suspend all necessary rules to take up House Resolution 1193.
Members, you heard the motion. The objecting chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk read the resolution.
H.R. 1193 by Davis, in memory of Ruth Laverne Wells Wyrick of Dallas.
The chair recognizes Ms. Davis to explain the resolution.
Move passage.
The question occurs on adoption of the resolution. All in favor, please rise. The resolution is unanimously adopted. Members, please take your seats. We're about to begin the Speaker's Reunion Day program. Members, I'm pleased to renew the biennial tradition of honoring the former members of this body. But I'd like to begin today's program with a moment of silence in memory of those former members we lost since our last Speaker's Reunion Day in 2019. Please rise for a moment of silence. Thank you, members. I now invite the former members to introduce themselves and indicate the years they served in the area of the state they represented. I'd like to begin with the introduction of the former speakers of the Texas House who are here today.
My name is Gib Lewis. I was a member of these chambers from 1971 to 1991. So good to be here with you.
Pete Laney, and I was elected to begin with in 1972 and was Speaker from 93 to 2003.
This is the podium. Hold your head up, and then you can speak whenever you're ready.
Where do we talk? Tom?
Yeah, go ahead. Speak clearly.
My name is Julius O. Duncan. My hometown that I represented was Gilmer and Pittsburgh, Texas, Upshur and Camp County up in East Texas. They elected me their representative back in 1950 when I was over in Korea. And I came home and came to Austin, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. I live in Austin today.
We're giving you a standing ovation. You stay right there for just a minute. Lift your head up, J.O. Look, stand tall.
I thought you wanted me to look.
No, we changed. I changed it on you. Okay. Hang on right there.
Kind of trying to look.
Come on and step back a little bit. Thank you. Okay. Here's the handle. Armrest.
Can I get a quick picture with him?
Hey, please do.
That's where I represent now, where I'm from.
Okay, so introduce yourself.
Who is that?
I'm Cole Hefner. I represent Pittsburgh. And Gilmer. I was born and raised there.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was born in Trapper Springs, but I was raised in
You bet.
Gilmer.
Okay.
What did your folks do?
Well, we were in construction and some farming, but
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Andis. I served in the 53rd Legislature. I am now 99 years old. I survived the gold bust days. I survived the Big Depression. I survived World War II. I survived the pandemic. I survived the legislature. I served a lot of trials and tribulations, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker and members, my name is Terry Townsend. I had the good fortune from Brady, Texas, to serve the 7 counties that are north and west of Travis County, better known as the Texas Hill Country. I had more deer and turkey and quail than I had people. I had a district that was larger than 2 states. I worked in this chamber in 1955 and 1957 for my representative, and those were not the good old days. 2 members went to the penitentiary for taking bribes, and we had no air conditioning. So the Sergeant at Arms office spent most of May trying to break up fights between the members. I thoroughly enjoyed my service. I served until January 1967, and then moved to become the president of the Trucking Association for 20 years and the Hospital Association for 15. I hope you enjoy your service as much as I did. And my advice to you is don't stay too long. Don't stay till your constituents get sick and tired of you. Thank you a lot. Adios, and hook 'em horns.
Good morning. My name is Ace Pickens. I was proud to represent Odessa, Texas, from 64 to 73.
Morning, Mr. Speaker, members. Lanny Hall. I served in the 66th, 67th, and 68th, representing Tarrant County. And it's good to be back. Good to see all of you. And a bunch of special sessions, by the way, during that time. Thank you.
I'm George Preston. I'm from Paris, Texas. I served 4 terms here. First term I served was 64 years ago. And during that time, we didn't even have a salary. We only got a per diem while we were in session only. You had no staff. The only thing you had as in a way of an office was that desk that you're sitting at right there. You had a little speaker on the side. You could call your secretary down in the pool to come do what you you needed to have her to do. I want to express my appreciation for you all inviting us back here at 93. I don't know how many more I'll get to attend, but thank you for inviting me this time. Appreciate it very much.
Good morning. I'm Deborah Danberg and served as a member over 20 years back in the 80s and 90s mainly. And before that, a legislative aide, and before that, a lobbyist. And everybody's invited to our sunset party the night before next Speaker's Day, too.
Bob Davis from Irving, Texas. I served in the
63rd through the 67th session of the Texas House of Representatives. And in thinking of something witty, I might say to you, fell back on the old adage of folks like me who lost more than we won here on this floor. Thanks for the use of the hall. Good day.
Jim Jackson, Carrollton, Dallas County, Texas. I proudly served District 115 in the 79th, 80th, 81st, 82nd sessions. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Doug Miller from New Braunfels. Some of you out there I still serve with, see some friends. Represented the most Germanic district in the state of Texas. New Braunfels, Bernie, and Fredericksburg. Alles Deutschen, right? And the great part of the Hill Country. Good to be here. Thanks for having us today. Thank y'all for what you do.
I'm Jeff Wentworth from Bexar County. Served from 1988 to 1993 before I moved to the other body for 20 years. The only advice I'd say is don't waste a single day. It goes really fast.
Clyde Alexander. I represented Henderson, Navarro, Freestone County from 89 to 03.
Mr. Speaker and members, I'm Todd Staples. I was a proud member of the Texas House from the 74th through the 76th. Thank you for the work y'all are doing.
Mr. Speaker, members, my name's Parker McCullough. I had the privilege of representing Williamson County in 2 regular sessions and 13 special sessions. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
My name's Fred Bossy. I served from 1991 to 2003, represented a district in East Harris County, right next to Representative Thompson's district in East Harris County.
I'm Mark Stiles. I've served in the 68th and 75th legislature from Beaumont, Texas.
I'm Alan Hightower, and I represented Walker, Polk, San Jacinto, and Tyler County from 1983 to 1999.
So Ron Lewis, 1985 to 2002, I had Orange County, Newton County, and part of Jefferson County, and I'm proud to say that that's Speaker Phelan's district.
Jimmy Don Aycock, House District 54, 2007 to 2017.
Marcia Farney, House District 20, 83rd and 84th session.
John Sharp, 1979 to 1982, Victoria, Calhoun County, and this is Aggie Muster Day. Thank you for having this.
Ben Campbell, represented Denton and Collin County when there was a rural area to represent. I served from 69 through 73rd session. Thank you.
Good morning. Leticia Van Depute from San Antonio, Texas, District 115, proudly serving in this great body from 1991 to 1999. God bless all of you.
Good morning. Ralph Sheffield from Temple, Texas, Bell County, District 55. I've served from 80th session to the 83rd session. Good to see all my old friends again.
Good morning. I'm David Kane. I served in this body from 1977 with Youth Symphonia to 1995 from Dallas County.
Hi, my name is Rob Orr. I served in District 58, which is Johnson and Bosque County, for 10 years. And I'm very fortunate enough to have Dwayne Burns follow me as you got a great member. Thank you.
Susanna Hupp, District 54, Lampasas, from 96 to 2007. Good to be here.
I'm Rick Hardcastle, and I served from 76 till the 82nd.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Vilma Luna, and I was blessed to serve here from the 73rd through the 79th from the sparkling city from the sea, which is Corpus Christi, District 33. I'm so happy you all are serving us now. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Larry Gonzalez from Round Rock, Texas, District 52. Pleasure to see all you guys. Happy to be back.
I'm Tony Dale, Larry Gonzalez's desk mate. Served from 2013 to 2019 from Williamson County. Nice to see y'all, especially my friends from back in the day. God bless.
Hi, Symphonia. My name is Elliot Neistat. I'm from New York City and Austin. I served in this body for 26 years. Gina Hinojosa took my place. It's a pleasure to be back, and I'll see you at the barbecue.
Whew. Good morning. Eddie Lucio served from 2007 till last year. My first reunion day. It's great to see so many friends. Thank you for your continued service. It's great to see everyone. Have a beautiful day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Veronica Gonzalez, and I served for 4 terms starting in 2005. I want to give a shout out to my old desk mate, Donna Howard, or I should say my former desk mate, Donna Howard, and to the class of the 79th legislative session that I started with. Also, Mrs. T celebrating her 50th year. That's amazing. It's so nice to see you all. I still do government relations for our University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, so I know some of you see me all the time because I'm bothering you for money, but thank you for everything you do. Keep up the good work, and we hope to see you again very soon.
Hello, my name is Pete Gallego. I was here from 1991 to 2013.
Greetings, I'm Dan Branch. I was here from 2003 to 2015. And it's good to see some of my old friends. It's a little odd seeing John Bryant now serving in the House. And I guess one of my great memories was when Mrs. T tackled the front podium here. We had to rebolt it to the ground. Anyway, enjoyed being here. Thanks, Speaker, for having me. Glad I got a few staff members keeping this guy on track.
Good morning, members. I'm Cindy Burkett, served in the legislature from the 82nd to the 85th in the East Dallas County area.
Good afternoon. Hugo Berlanga. Had the great pleasure to serve on this august body, and I'm glad to see some of my colleagues that I've served with. Chairman Thompson, I see John Bryant has come back, Tom Craddock, and others. But I had the great fortune during that span to have served as chairman of Local and Consent Calendar, Speaker Pro Tem for 8 years, and then chairman of Calendars, and also chairman of Public Health. It was a great, and you work in the most greatest institution anywhere in the earth, in this earth. Congratulations, keep up the good work.
Hi, I'm Chuck Hobson from Jacksonville, Texas, the tomato capital of the world. And thank you very much for having us.
Mr. Speaker, members, I'm Charlie Tupper. I served from El Paso for a couple of sessions, and I had the honor of serving with Representative John Bryant. Oh, there he is. I guess if I had any claim to fame, was a couple of my bills have been all-time type bills. Multi-year license plates was my law, and that has saved Texans hundreds of millions of dollars. And then right turn on red. It's great to be back.
My name is Tom Cartledge. I'm from Henrietta, Texas, which is a little town up north of here. And my daughter Ann, who's up in the gallery, she and I are going to a hog hunt this afternoon to measure wounded warriors for cowboy boots, which is a great joy to do right now. If you can't serve the people as you folks are doing, find something good to do for people and you'll be happy. Thank you very much for having us back.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see everyone so interested in paying attention, and I don't blame you. I'm Paul Colbert. I served in this body from 1981 until the first week of January of 1993, 67th through 72nd sessions representing Houston. Thank you all for having us here.
Good morning. This is Jaime Capello, served out of Corpus Christi, Texas, 4 terms, and had the pleasure of serving under Speaker Laney and Speaker Craddock, and was Speaker Craddock's chair of House Public Health Committee. Enjoy your time here, members. It doesn't last forever unless you're Speaker Craddock or Chairwoman Thompson.
Feel like handling the gavel and asking for attention. I'm Scott Hochberg. I served from 1993 to 2012. I am probably best remembered. Hi there. I am probably best remembered for trying to designate an official state molecule and failing to pass the bill. Thank you all for everything you do and make good use of your time here for all of us. Thank you.
I'll speak in the other. Although we had time for you. Oh, I guess I'm up. Good morning. I'm Rob Eisler. I spent 5 terms here, and nothing has changed with Miss T. Whenever I do a bill, she would ask the questions, and by her look, you knew if it was a good bill or not, or whether it was going to pass. Anyway, in my 5 terms, I spent a little time in public ed and had a real good time. Good to see all of you. Thanks for having us.
Hi, I'm Myra Crownover, and I had the joy of representing Denton County for 16 years, and I'm enjoying my retirement equally now. So great to be here. Thank you.
Terrell Smith. I represented Travis County from 1981 to 1991. I'm glad to be here.
Hi there, Jim Horn from Denton County. Back when Denton County had 1 state rep, and you now are blessed with 5. But it's good to be with you. I served the 67th to the 75th. Thank you.
You break it? I did. How many people here remember you?
Robert Talton, 1993 to 2007.
Good. Well, if it's not fun, it's not worth it. Good. Yeah, it does happen quick, and then you go, whoa, what happened? Hey, how are you, sir? I'm so glad to get out here.
Not here. Here's Jeannie. Good morning. Steve Holsizer, served from the Victoria area before Chairman Morrison from 1986 to 1998. Thank you all for having us.
Patricia Gray, 72nd through the 77th, and this is the 100th anniversary of women in the legislature in Texas.
Hello, I'm E.O.B. Kubiak. I'm from Rockdale, Texas. I served here from 1983 to 1991.
My name's Robert Saunders. I served from 1981 to 97, and my district was around LaGrange, Texas.
Hello, Dick Swift, District 11, 70th and 71st Legislature, Anderson, Cherokee, and Freestone counties.
Good morning. My name is Pat Haggerty. Served from 1989 to 2009. And from the big city, the proud city, the border city of El Paso, Texas.
Hello, members. Chairman Thompson, it was my pleasure to serve with you, and congratulations on your 51st service to our state. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the author of the Texas Purple Paint Law, that when you see paint on trees or fence posts, it means no trespassing. Remember that and stay out of trouble. All the folks at home, I love you. Thanks for electing me. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
And just wanted to say hello. Jim Murphy, I served in the 79th and then the 80th through 86th sessions. Hope you all have a great session and represent your districts well. God bless.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here. Great to see you guys and gals. I'm Wayne Faircloth. I represented House District 23, which is Galveston Chambers County, in the 84th and 85th session. Great times. Y'all do great work. Keep it up. Thanks.
Kent Grusendorf, 1986 to 2006. Hi, Symphonia.
Good morning. My name is Gerard Torres, and I'm from Harris County, Houston. Served 1995 through 1998. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker and members, I'm Chase Untermeyer, representing Houston in the 1977 and 79 sessions. Particularly enjoyed serving with my dear beloved colleague, Ms. Synfronia Thompson.
Robert Eccles, 68th to 73rd. I came specifically to say hi to Chairman Thompson out there. I expect her to clap.
Craig Island, State Rep from Galveston, 1995-2015. Speaker Pro Tem under Speaker Strauss.
I'm Gene Seaman from Corpus Christi, and the Word of God says the last shall be the least. And I guess I'm the last one. Praise God. Well, I served here for a decade. I was in the military since 1951 when Korea started. Spent some years there, and the years here, a decade in the legislature. And I'm going to say to you all, whoever's still listening, serve with integrity, serve with honor. May God bless this house, and may God bless Texas.
The speaker's desk is clear. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. Mr. Landgraf moves the House adjourned until 1 p.m. Monday. Is there objection? Chair hears none. The House stands adjourned.